last but not least, I want to say thank you to our one of our top favorite people, Christy and John Oakey. Thank you for joining us. John and Christy have been here longer than us. John is a whiz on back office. And so tonight we are going to deep dive into the back office. And so we welcome their input. And so I love this company. My coach, Brent Palmer, coined the term blurring the lines of sponsorship. And I want to point that out before we get started because I want you to know something. Michelle McKay is not on my team, and I'm not on hers. Kimberly Brecka, my power twin, my power partner, is not on my team. John and Christy are not on either of our teams. And together we come around to bring you this training and this information. And so we want to exemplify that we are a company that blurs the lines of sponsorship. And so no matter whose team you're on, we welcome you because we need all of you, up line, down line, cross line, and around line, to help us get this company to $1 billion company as soon as we can. So last week we summarized, I want to summarize that we did an overview. I'm just going to give you an overview of why.
Brenda, before you do the overview, I'm going to mute everybody and then unmute yourself, please. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So to summarize, last week we talked about the why. I hope you did your homework. I challenged you with some homework. Why are you here? What do you want on this road to senior officer? And I hope you took some time to think about what that's going to do for you, your life, and your family. And so for me, the thing that impressed me the most about the road to senior officer and the title of senior officer, that's just a mark, okay? That's just a level of accomplishment. You know, it's kind of a scorecard, but here's what I want you to know. A paid as senior officer makes $160,000 a year. And that is a significant income. As Summer Simon says, that's some adult money. And so I just want you to know, I want you to think about what that can do for you. Here's what that's important to me. I've been in this industry for 24 years. Most of you know my story, but I'm going to repeat just a little part of it. My husband taught high school for 31 years. He has 3 degrees and short a dissertation having his PhD. And the most he ever made was $59,000 in a year. And so for us, this kind of money means a lot. Now, what happened for me in the beginning of this 24 years ago, it took me 6 years to learn this industry. So don't beat yourself up if it's taken you some time to learn it. If you were on a new job, you'd have to do some training. So it took me 6 years to learn this industry. But over the next 6 years, we earned over $1 million. That's a significant amount of money for a teacher and an office manager. And so this company, like Brent just reminded us yesterday, this is an opportunity for an ordinary person to do extraordinary things with your life. And that is why this particular training is so important. So we have a system, and if we work the system works for us. And so here we go. Tonight, we're going to deep dive into the back office, and we're going to touch on the gauges that move the needle that will put money in your pocket. That's what we're all here for, right? To learn this, to get money, to be a blessing, right? Okay, so Miss Kimberly Brecka, are you ready to kick us off with this amazing PowerPoint that you put together? Because I am.
How do I even follow that? Okay. Yes, I am. Okay. Let me see if I can share. I could not last week, but we'll try again because sharing is caring, right?
That's right.
Come on. It's because this is in my way. Oh, no, it's not gonna let me. So we're gonna just do the same thing we did last week. And we're gonna close this out and we're just gonna talk about it. So let's do it like this, Brenda. What do you think? Let's talk
Okay.
about what's on each of these and then we'll go and flip over to, which may require stop sharing and going back. So we might not be able to toggle. Actually, Brenda, tell me if I toggle, can you see that screen? Which,
No, I only see the reports.
okay.
The reports every brand partner.
Okay. So we'll just have to unshare and share when we actually go into the back office.
Okay.
So why is the back office important, Brenda? Why do we check reports every week?
Because those are the gauges that tell us what's going on in our business. And one of my first questions to Brent Palmer when I sat down with him for a business appointment, I said, show me the gauges. What do I need to look at? What's going to move the needle? Where does that come from? And what triggers that to make that happen? I need to know that. And so, what Kimberly and I are going to share with you tonight, you don't need to know everything in the back office, but there are certain things that are an absolute must, and you need to know them. And some of you, I don't know who's new on here or not, so just try to keep up with this. Get with your upline, your sponsor, your leader. If you have questions, reach out to us, but we're going to do our best to give you what we know about what's important to put money on the table.
And we're not going to get way down deep in the weeds. We're just going to talk about a couple reports that you should be checking, in our opinions, you should be checking every single week. And we actually left one on and off of here, and I'll talk about that at the end. But yeah, I mean, why do you check reports every week? You want to find out what's going on with your commissions and your volume, which affects your commissions. And you have a team, or you're hopefully building a team. You want to find out what's going on with your team, and you want to prevent problems. That's a big one right there, is preventing problems. So the first one is that volume report. Let me stop share. I hate that I have to do this, but I can. But I can. Goodness gracious. All right, let's share it and open up Partner Co. I hope I'm opening up the right one. So what I have done, yes, I am. What I have done, let's go to this homepage, this is actually my niece. She does not work the business. She came in and bought product. She does not mind that we share it. There's nothing, see, she doesn't even have my own niche. She doesn't even have a subscription in place. But so when you open your dashboard, that just by itself is going to tell you a lot, right? I mean, just start with, it's got your name, it's got your level. She's ultimate. She's team lead. Shouldn't she be working this business, Brenda?
She should.
She's made some money. That's right. It's got your ID. It's got your business level. She's ultimate. It's got, the gold. If you have anybody waiting, if you've signed a brand partner, this is where you place them. That's a whole nother training. This is where you see your commissions. This is where you see your volume of your lines. Obviously, it looks a little bit different on the mobile app than it does on the computer. This is where you now copy your link. Do not just go up here and copy this. It is not going to go directly to you. So you want to make sure you copy your URL. This is where you can shop. You can enroll someone. You can now change your subscriptions right here, and you can share. It's where your savings bonus is. So that's just the dashboard. It's just kind of what's going on. Like I said, she is not an active brand partner, so there would be numbers here if you had people who were working with you. But this is what we want to talk about today, this menu. So we just said, why is volume important? Why is volume important? Volume is important. So this is your volume report. No, it's not. Didn't I hit the right button? Reports.
Scroll down. Down. Volume. It's way at the bottom.
There. Yes. So there's two lines, right? line one and line two. This isn't the perfect example because if there was volume in one of these lines, and this is something too that I think is an important, especially if you're fairly new, and sometimes not even fairly new. Sometimes it's just a concept that's hard to grasp. We talk a lot about pay line and power line. Set that aside just for a moment. You have a line one and you have a line two. Whichever line is bigger, is more powerful, that is your power line. It is a label. It is not the title of that line. It is just a label based on what's happening at the exact moment. So don't let that confuse you. So let's say her power line, her larger line was line one. It would be highlighted in red. And Andrea Rosser says red means stop. Don't place someone there. That's your power line. Okay. And then pay line. That's just your lesser line when you're looking at volume, which would be over here if she had volume. In fact, she did have some volume last year when she was buying. 40, I wrote it down, 41, week 41. Here. So there's the red. That's the C, and it says P for power, L for lesser, but your lesser line is also your pay line. You get paid. I just lost the word. Base commission. I was going to say basic. I couldn't get that out of my head. Base commission on your pay line, on your lower line, on your lesser line. So that's what's happening here.
I just think green for money.
Yes, green for money. Absolutely. So don't let that, because what can happen is if she brought two people in and put them in line two and they both went to ultimate, they would flip. The line two would be red, line one would be green. It's okay. That's fine. So I always say line one and line two when I'm talking to someone rather than pay line and power line until you're actually talking about something that pertains to. So line one and line two. So really that's your volume report. And did you see what I did? I went up here. You can change it. You can look at the last couple of years, however long since you started, and you can change it week to week to week to week. What else can you do on this one? You can print it out if you need to, export that PDF. One of the things you can do is see how this is underlined. You can tap on it and it's going to show you exactly where that commission came from, who made those orders, and actually some little details about what they ordered. So that's kind of a nice one. How do I get out of there?
I love this report because it shows you the current activity that's going on right now. So
yes.
For me, that's one of the first reports that I check just to get a feel for where things are. So it might be good to check it in the morning and check it in the evening if you're a business builder and you want to know what's going on, because the activity in your business will show up there.
Where is she talking about? Is that the pay?
So next, I was just looking to, I think I'm going to just stay here for a minute. So the next thing that we look at every week, did I get muted or am I still good, Brenda?
You're good.
Okay. So the next report, or another one that we look every week is, it also is under reports. Is that the failed team? They changed the names recently. Failed team subscriptions. What does that mean?
For me, it gives me the opportunity to call a person and check on them and say, hey, just wanted you to know that your name just appeared on a failed subscription report. Did something happen? Did you get a new credit card?
Yes.
Did your expiration date change?
Yes.
See, things like that. And sometimes they don't know that happened. And so that is really significant. That's important that we call them and let them know, because we don't want them to miss a subscription, but they don't want to miss one either. And so it has helped so many people, and they have thanked me for letting them know, oh my gosh, I did get a new expiration date. And so we have to call and make sure that that's good. But that report is significant because we all want to wake up on Saturday morning with those subscriptions at 13,334, right, Kimberly?
That's exactly right.
Right, John
Right.
and Christy?
And yeah, and what else? You know, it's not just that you can't, it's not just that you don't get your product. If you're a working brand partner, there is a lot tied to having that subscription in place. Your paycheck, your lifestyle credits.
Right.
And we don't want to lose those. So failed subscription. The next one, I'm just going to stay on this and just read from is the striking distance report. And this one's really important when you have a team and you're really, because really, how are we successful? We're successful when we help our team be successful. When we help each member of our team achieve their goals and be successful, that's how we succeed. So the striking distance report will tell you, sorry, it's a little slow, will tell you if anybody, okay, so it just runs right across, gives the brand partner ID, gives the name, gives the date they signed up. It's going to tell you what their volume is. And when it comes over to here, it's going to tell you so what their business level is, but how many points to their next business level and how much to their next title. So that's what's important on this one. So you might, she's not even close, but you might have someone who is 1% away, who's 100 PV away. You want to be able to identify that so you can help that person achieve that. It might be as simple as throwing someone on having them throw you on a couple 3-way calls and sell some drops, right? What do you think about this report, Brenda?
I love this, and I was fixing to ask you, would you point out about the toggle, the arrows that toggle that help filter
yes, sure.
things? Because when you have a large organization, and you will, if you don't right now, those will help you organize and filter out specific things that you're looking for. But it also, those arrows will put things in order from highest to lowest or lowest to highest, whichever you choose. And so there's only one here. So this particular one is probably not a great example to show that. However, that's what those are. And I'm going to encourage every one of you, please, when we get off of this, go play in your back office.
Yes.
You can't mess anything up. Kevin can fix anything. He is just magical. So don't be intimidated about playing in your back office to learn. That's how we learn where things are. And it's to your advantage that you know where to look. We're just giving you some guidelines that we use. And so hopefully this is going to be beneficial to you. But there's nothing like learning it for yourself. So you go play with your reports, you know your people, you know the names, and so find out what does what in the back office.
Kimberly,
yes,
would you go back to the go back to that
Page.
and go to the far right, that plus sign?
Yes.
You might want to check, talk about that a little bit.
Yes. Oh, yes. Look at all of that. It's because I usually look at it on my phone. I was like, look at that. So that is where it tells you what your next title is. And that is where I was wondering where that was. And that is where it tells you what the current title is. So her current title is team lead. Her pay line is 0. Her subscription is 0. It gives you a lot of information about that individual. So you could tell if she had a subscription. You can tell what she came in with. You can tell what her if she has a savings bonus started. That's a lot of information on that one person. Thank you, Christy. So one of the other ones that we look at, and this is when you start building a team, and you'll hear Brent Palmer say this, people just don't get celebrated enough, and it makes people feel really good. And when you are able to make people feel really good, they are going to want to be around you and they're going to want to work with you. And so this downline title advancement, again, it's not the best example because there's no names on it. But if you have someone in your organization who has ranked up, it will list it there. It will show it will show what date, what the title is, what the previous title was, and give all that information. And then you can go on, and in our boards, there are all kinds of templates in Canva to celebrate people. Go on and celebrate your people and let them know what that new, I mean, you might have someone who's team lead. That's the first time that's the first one. And then when you get to where your base commission is $250, now you're adding to your savings bonus. So that's another one that when you reach a rank and it shows that, that's a huge one.
And
So,
Kimberly, this report in
yes,
the past, and correct me if I'm wrong, John and Christy, comes out on Thursday. It takes the system update. And so that's a report that I mark on my calendar and check on Thursday.
because it's from the last,
And it's
yes,
for the last period.
yes,
They
yes,
very
yes.
well could. I usually check it on Fridays, so maybe
Friday,
it's there
okay.
Thursday, but
Okay.
I definitely see it on Friday for sure.
Yes.
Okay. Thanks.
And it's from the previous pay period.
Mhm.
So don't panic. That's a good point, because don't panic if your person hit a rank and you know they did and you don't see it yet. It's because it hasn't gone through the whole system yet.
Right.
Any other, I thought there
Yes.
was more. Yes.
What I like seeing, and I use this one, is the 4-week cycle. Click on that one, Kimberly.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. The 4-week
Again, this probably
cycle.
won't be the best example, but
Okay. A 4-week cycle means that shows you all of your auto ships for the weeks. And so the very first one in the left-hand corner right there is the current week. But you can
That's week
also
30.
jump
Yep.
over to the very far right, and that's the same week, because remember, we're on a 4-week cycle.
Right.
All of our pay periods end Friday night, midnight, and they begin Saturday at 12:01 a.m. And so this is the cycle. So what this tells me now, for those of you that are going for a new title, this would give you a forecast of when you might want to run for another title, if that's what you're wanting to do. This will give you a heads up. It'll give you what's already on the board in subscriptions. Now, keep in mind, there's a lot of people like me that go in and change my subscription, but I never let it drop below 100 PV, and you better not either if you're in the game.
That's right.
Because that will tell you how much volume you have on the board. It's already there.
Right.
And so that can be beneficial when PartnerCo launches an incentive or when they launch a new product, that you can take advantage, and that will help the momentum of getting you to another title. So heads up, put that one on your list to check, and just every week see where they are. Here's the other thing that it does for me. I get to see and I use that report to call people and thank them for staying on product. How are you doing? How is that product working? Because see, Kimberly showed you where we can go and see what products they're ordering. We can find out, how is that Renew working for you? How are those drops doing? How is that MOA doing? And it gives us a reason to call people. Remember, we have to have a reason to call people. But for me, I use that as a thank you and an appreciation for staying with PartnerCo products.
Absolutely. I was just looking through to see if there's anything else we wanted to touch on before we back out of here. So I'm just flipping through. If you watch my screen on the left-hand side, each of these tabs has an arrow because there are things on order history, your smart links.
Talk about the document. Go to the document library for just a second.
And where's that? That's under down here.
Down. Many, many times people will ask me, well, what's the price? Or don't we have a price list? We do. Under PartnerCo resources, there is, no, wait, wrong one. Excuse me, business documents. Sometimes they've changed some things.
There's your calendar. If you are curious about when your subscription goes, there's the calendar right there.
Yes, yes. There's also the average earnings report for people that are questioning our company and the compensation plan, because we are bold about saying we have the #1 compensation plan. Well, look at the average earnings so there's that report right there. It's all documented. So here's all of our things. If you need a guideline for product claim, please don't make medical claims. Please don't do that. Here's where you can see we all love this company. We don't want to lose it because somebody made a product claim. Okay. We don't do that. But anyway, here's a lot of things. So play around with it. There's even product journey scripts. Partnerco, our IT has done an amazing job at providing so many tools for us. Please use them. They're available.
Yes.
But you got to know where they are. And that's what we wanted to help you with tonight.
That's exactly right. Anything else, Brenda, on here?
No.
There's my business.
Tree. Go to the tree view.
Go into the tree view.
So many times. Okay, look at this right here. Wait a minute. Where's the numbers?
Well, let's switch to the mobile view. Nope. Let's switch to the tree view. It's the new one. It's not the same. It's not the same as it used to be.
Legacy. Let's try legacy tree.
It's not on here.
Okay.
I have to go back.
So when you click on,
it's under business.
Yes.
Thank you.
You have to go into a different one. You can't just, and that's the difference. Someone who's been playing with the tree for a couple of years and someone who comes into the new tree, you guys are natives. You're going to be better at that new tree than we are.
This is so fun. I love the tree because there's so much information in here. But do you see that little 10 in the middle of the page? It defaults to that. So many times people have said, wait, what happened to my people? They're just not there anymore. Did I lose them? Did they quit? No. Change that number to 1,000. I remember what happened for me, and I'm like, I know I put some people there. Well, my business was growing, and that tree was growing, and those roots were going way down. And so I had to increase it to 100, and then before long, that wasn't enough. So I just automatically default to 1,000 now. So that gives you the whole tree view. Okay, so I want you to look at that. It toggles between placement tree and sponsorship tree. So here's why I grabbed that sponsorship tree. If I know somebody said, hey, I just signed up such and such, then I can go to that sponsorship tree and find out if that enrollment went through. What that tells me is, oh, they're not placed yet, but they'll show up in that tree. So that's where I use that. But most of the time, I use the placement tree. And here's why. When I look at my tree, all the people are there. And so, boy, when the system did an update a few weeks ago, I got a bunch of red apples on my tree. Don't freak out. It's okay. You can get them green again. But all the little dots across the page tell you what those colored dots mean. Study some of that so that you learn who's what and who's where and where people are in their journey. But Kimberly, click on Roseanne's name, detail info, order, watch. Look at that. There's all of her order history for a long time. And so if you want to know what people are doing, where they are, do they still have an auto ship? Do they have, what are they? And I also use this if somebody is qualifying for Ultimate, I can go there. Auto ships do not count when you're in qualification to get to Ultimate. So that's a good report that I use to just verify where a person is before I'm going to make that call to corporate. And so that's how I use that report. It also helps me understand who's signing up who, and if there's a new person, then I can see them on that report. Anything y'all want to add, John and Christy?
Nope, you guys are nailing it.
Kimberly?
I will say the one, you can click on the names, by the way, and that gives you more information too. But there's going to be limited information on here, probably
Yeah.
Just
because,
going through the details
yeah.
already.
Do the drill down,
Well, it's
Kimberly.
not going to do anything with.
Yeah, drill down's great if you have like a
Okay.
huge line, but this is a
Yes.
short line, so you're not going to see a lot. But if you have like a huge
True.
team, drill down's good because they'll just drill down from that person down underneath
Yes.
them.
It's an
From-
isolated line, so that helps.
From that one person that you're drilling down from. That's right. That's right. That's right. And the tree is going to be important when you are, well, the tree's always important, but it's really important when you're deciding where to place someone. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, talk to your sponsor or whoever's training you. It's important.
Kimberly,
to them. Yes, ma'am.
while we're on here,
Yeah.
touch on, let's go back. Touch on partner co-pay. Go back to dashboard. I want to touch on this, and not necessarily for you that are on this, but please make sure. Where did it go?
You said dashboard, but that's not what you meant.
Well, I meant the partner co-pay. My money. Excuse me. Okay, right there, partner co-pay.
I just do what you tell me, Brenda.
Funny.
Yes.
Okay, so here is where we need to make sure that those that have expressed interest in earning some income, earning some money, they must have their social and their routing number. Me personally, I use direct deposit. It's got to say 100%.
And
one place, and then it's got to say 100% in the total. So many times people miss that. So if you're the leader and you're helping your people, make sure that that's one of the things on your checklist to get their social security number. It is illegal for a company to cut a check. It's a federal law. They have to have a social security number or a business
right.
ID. So that would be very important, because sometimes people don't mean to go into a business, and then later on they've shared some product and now it generated a commissions check and it's just sitting there idle. And so I don't want anybody to miss a check.
I know.
So make sure, whether they want to or not, that they at least know about that and help them get there. So thank you, Kimberly.
Absolutely.
Subscription manager. Let's talk about that.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
There isn't one here.
It's okay. It's all right. If you are a business builder, you must have a subscription of 100 PV. When you get that into the system, you can edit it, but please don't delete it. So many times people delete it. Now you trip the system. Now you got to call corporate.
Add before you subtract.
Add the products you want. And then when you go to the cart and you're going to check out, you remove the ones that you don't want. Get good at that, and get good at helping your team do that, because that is critical. So subscriptions will affect more than you want to know. It triggers our lifestyle credit. It triggers your paycheck. It triggers the weekly color week. It triggers, it can foul everything. We can fix it, but it might cost the person some money. And we don't want that to happen. So remember, number one rule, 100 PV in your subscription. You can change it. You can input and flip every product in the shop section, but always keep 100 PV in there. Don't let it drop below that. If you can, keep 100. Otherwise, you're going to lose your commissions. That's what keeps us commission eligible. Subscriptions are very important. It triggers a color week whenever you activate your account. Anything y'all want to add, John and Christy? Y'all been doing this a lot longer than me.
Nope, you guys got some good information there, and not overwhelming everybody. Because there's the biggest thing I tell people too is, we give them the basics, is to go in there and just play around. You can't mess it up, right? So go around and play around. And actually, right now, they've got it set up too with the new back office. You can actually change some of the things that are on your main page. So, like for us, we received our savings bonus. I don't need the savings bonus wheel on there anymore, right? So I took that off. But go in there and play around. If there's stuff that are more important to you, you can move around on your dashboard, your main dashboard. But otherwise, just play around and see what's on there because there's so many great useful tools in there.
I think people just get scared. Don't
Yeah.
yeah, you just gotta play with it. I am not great at this. But I go in there, like I'm in it right now. I'm playing around with it, and you can't mess it up.
You're right. It's view only. You can't mess it up.
Thank
Brenda,
you.
can I bring up that PowerPoint that I'm super excited about?
Absolutely, girl.
You guys, I don't know if y'all know this, but prior to being a teacher and prior to some other, I'm an actuary by trade. So numbers geek me out.
Put a 10 in the chat if you're a numbers person, and put a 10 in the chat if you just love Kimberly Brecka and what she's about to show you.
I'm a math
Get
nerd.
ready.
How about put a 5 in the if you have any idea what an actuary is? So this is a combination, is a very, no, that's not what I want. I want this one. Okay, wait, I can do it here. Open. So there we go. Let's go up to number 1. This is so there's many different trainings out there, and I think I said it last week. Brent Palmer has a page. Todd Rowland has a page. James Zhang has a page. I'm sure there's many more pages, but those YouTube pages have more trainings than you can watch in a year. And anything that you want to know about our back office, about anything about our business, about results, about testimonies, go to one of those 3. There's probably more, but those are the 3 that I am familiar with. And just start scrolling around and watching YouTube videos or listening to them on your walk or whatever. But there are 3 that speak to my math brain. 1, Brent does a CEO in 90 days. It's kind of like, it's very similar to what Cindy Landis does now on the napkin thing. So Brent, when he did it a couple years ago, called it CEO in 90 days. James Zhang does one 6 figures in 6 months. And then someone else had done one, and I think it was on James, and it was Rockstar versus the system. So this is kind of all 3 of those combined. And what I'm going to talk to you about, because when we first start and we sell boxes, it is really awesome to have that cash in our pockets. However, we all have, and I'm not being a negative Nancy, and I'm not trying to discourage you, but we all, using Todd Rowland's words, we all have a pond that we fish in. And when the fish in that pond get low, we got to go to another pond. Okay. And so selling boxes of drops is linear. It is straight up and down. It is addition. That is what my friend Brenda likes to say. Team building, and this is what Epic is, and this is the whole basis. And we're not gonna make it complicated. I am not the person who brings in or brought in 700 people on a team and glory hallelujah, I made CEO in a week. That is not me. But slowly and strategically, and I'll tell you how on this thing, I have added business partners, trained them, as Tim Sales says, until they can't get it wrong, and then taught them to do the same thing. So, month 1, this is a 6-month program. You're all on it right now. Month 1, 30 boxes of drops. Doesn't matter if you're trying to team build or selling 30. You're selling 30 boxes of drops. Your volume is the same. And this is all about volume. We all know or can figure out what the money will be. This is just straight up volume. And it's not the money in your pocket, the Venmo money, the garage sale money, whatever. It's just straight up volume. So if you sell 30 boxes of drops this month, $22.80 is your volume no matter what. Okay. Month 2, because in month 1, you added 2 team members. Remember Epic, you plus 2 every single month. So look at the linear. You're still making $22.80 PV. You sold your 30 boxes of drops or however many. Yeah, 30 boxes straight up It's not the bulk. Anyway, 2280. However, you brought on 2 people who also did the same thing. You plus 2. Look at your volume. It tripled. Now we're going to get exponential. So you've got addition, you had multiplication, now you've got exponential. So, and what does that mean? So 2 times 2 is 4, or 2 times 3 is 6. Here, 2 times 3 is 6, but 2 to the 3rd power, that's an exponential, is 8. It's bigger. So let's go to month 3. Oh, look at your volume in month 3 by adding 2, training them to, and teaching them to add 2, training them and having them add 2. All of a sudden now you have about 7 people doing it. Still, it's not a bazillion people. It's just adding 2 and teaching them to add 2. Look at your volume. Guess what? That's one line optimized right there. You're on your way. Look at the next month. Again, you've got that linear, you're 2200 PV, but look at your team building and look at all these people on your team now. You better go check that downline rank advancement in that back office because you want to be able to celebrate them. Because if you've got all these down here, this person up here needs to be celebrated. But look at that. Guess what that is? That's more than senior officer right there. Look at that. That's month 4. Again, this is a perfect world. We know that we add 2 and 1 goes away. We add 3 and 4 go away. It's the nature of the beast. But just be steady and consistent. And then you can get to month 5 and look at your volume there. And then you can get to month 6. There's your 6 figures in 6 months. Look at that. And look at that right there. Now, it's not going to be that pretty and that neat, like I said, but the numbers don't lie. And so if you keep following this epic, follow the system of growth, do your daily activity. Okay, you guys, put a number 3 in the comments if you tracked your daily activity this week. Did you do the activity to add the people, to add the volume, to make it go up? Good job, guys. Yay. That's awesome. Well, and you know what? Honestly, if you're not going to do the activity, what's the point? I mean, what's the point? Brenda, what you got to say about that? I got a little, woo!
I get fired up when we go from addition, which is really simple, to multiplication, because y'all, that's what we do when we share with 1 and they share with 2 and they share with 4 and it grows that way. Y'all, do you know how big this can get? Do you know the roots can go all the way to China, and all along the way we're helping people. And you know what we're doing? We are solidifying that foundation. And some of you may not even understand what residual income, but some of us still get some residual income for things that we did 24 years ago. Y'all, don't miss out. And so I'm so excited about this. I want to apologize. You know, I'm a little technically challenged. I am working on that. I did not know that I had not click the button so that you could all chat. I was wondering why you were so quiet. I just assumed you were all busy taking notes. But the chat is open. I hope if you have questions, and we got just a couple of minutes to answer some, maybe we can take a couple of questions. Are y'all okay with that?
Raise your hand.
We'll call on. Brenda, could you also, the big thing people are wondering is where can they find the recording? So where are you putting your recordings? Like last week's, and where will you put this week and moving forward? Where can they find these?
Well, I'm trying to get it on my YouTube channel. I'm in the process of doing that right now, John, and I will make sure that this one goes there too. I really don't want to put this out on one of the platforms. I want it to be in a place where specific people, where it is. My YouTube channel is Nutritional Business Training by Brenda. Where? The Art of Packaging Your Story is there. Several of the Super Saturdays that I have done are on there. And so
say that again. It's nutritional.
I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah.
Nutritional
Business Training by Brenda. that's all I knew how to. It's so elementary, y'all. I mean,
Okay.
call it what it is. So that's where I'm going to be putting all of my trainings. And so I'll be loading this up. Michelle will send me the recording. So I have the recording, but to get it on your YouTube channel, it's not just a click of a button and let me paste this link there. You have to download the whole thing and then send it. Anyway, I'll take care of that. In the meantime, those of you that have reached out, I have texted to you in text messages and I have texted to you in Messenger. So feel free to reach out to me if you need last week's recording. I have it. It's just a simple copy, paste, and send, and I'll be glad to do that. Please, please, please play around in your back office. We want you to be proficient at the tools that we have our hands on. Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry. You know what, John? That is exactly the report that I was trying to, that I did not want to forget. That my organization report in your back office under my reports is, I probably am on that every day. You can see what your downline's volume is. You can see what they're doing. You can add filters. You can see who's active. You can get their address and phone number. Everything about them is in there. And so my organization report is very, very important. Thank you for that reminder.
Yeah, that's my go-to. That's my go-to report.
Mine
for
too.
everything. So if people call me and say, hey, where do I need to place somebody, Jody Kreipel, I will go to my organization report. I click on their number, then you can actually see their volume. Because before you had to go into their website to see it, but now you click on their number, it shows you their volume report. You can see where they are. You can also go to the end. You can click the little highlighted number, and you can see what they've ordered in the last 30 days as well. So it's a great report to tell you also everything you need to know about them. So it's my go-to.
Yes.
And I love the little search bar up there, because if you're in your tree and you go, wow, who's that? Or you're in your volume report and you go, who is that? You can go straight to that organization report, pop that in the search key, and it pulls up just like what John just said. So it's a very, very useful tool. We all need that. So please play around with your back office. Kimberly, where are we going next week with this?
It'll be a surprise.
Okay.
I think that we are going to talk a lot about how to, PartnerCo gives us a lot of tools. Let's talk about how to use those tools.
Perfect. Okay.
I don't know. We'll brainstorm. We'll come up with something fun.
That's a great idea.
I'm sure there'll be math involved, Brenda.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you guys all for coming.
Yes.
And joining us on this beautiful Tuesday evening.
Yes, and look for the recording. I'll get it out to you.
Okay. It'll be on YouTube. Thank you guys very much.
We appreciate you. We love you. Stay in the game with us. We are going to do this, and we need every one of you to come alongside of us and help us get this company to a multi-billion-dollar company. We are changing lives day by day, one by one. We can't tell you
Thank you so much, ladies.
We appreciate you.
Incredible.
Great job, ladies.
Thank
Great
you.
job.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much. Oh my gosh,
Thank
this is
you.
great.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
God bless
Thank
you.
you.
This was
Awesome.
Bye.
Bless you.
Love you
Bye-bye.
guys.
Thank you.